Welcome to Oceanborn. It's gonna be dark in the bottom right against Chin in the top left. ZVZ. Haven't had any ZVZs yet on this channel, I'm pretty sure. At least not from these Korean cups here. Mostly picking non-mirror matchups there. Had several PvPs, I think, just because I wanted to see how Trap was performed. But ZVZ, been a while actually. Kind of cool to get back into this, yeah. ZVZs. Been doing too many European things, and it feels like the ZVZ madness has been calmed down quite a bit. In Europe, it's more like a PvZ madness. PvP, ZVZ, and PvZ madness. Okay, so we're not gonna watch this production tab, of course, because this is a no tabs, no health bars series. We're gonna get surprised when the first links are gonna hatch, because I'm not gonna check the eggs. So let's see. ZVZ. But of course, you know, if there's no Baneling Nest, it's likely not gonna be a Link Bane War. Well, of course, can't be a Bane War with no Baneling Nest. Man, Shin rocking that 800 APM there for us. Dark going down to like 60 APM is basically holding his daughter on his arm for a second. His wife is like, hey honey, can you just grab our daughter for a second? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Just do that. I can do this within 3 microsecond ratio. Oh, Zerglings rallying across the map here. Both players, still no Baneling Nest, of course. Beat, I'm pretty sure, was clicked for both. See, this is wiggling, this is also wiggling, so yes, we do have speed for both players. Third base is coming up, so for completely mirrored builds. Of course, the double queen is already out on the map and is going to push back those links. And there we go, Baneling Nest for Dark, Baneling Nest for Ragnarok. Completely standard here. And yeah, let's see if we're going to get some Link Bane Wars or not. If it's going to be some roach transitions. And who wants to do which one. We're going to see some offensive Banelings and all that kind of shenanigans. Oh, a creep tumor assassination is kind of cool. Gonna lose maybe both links there. Actually gonna keep one link alive. And speed is gonna be faster for Shin. So he can maybe run away here for a second. Oh. No, he's at least gonna open the gap here. There's no units across the map for our blue Zerg player. So he can't really morph any offensive Banelings. There's only one link trying to go in and scout here. It's actually gonna get a good look at the drone count of the natural, but not gonna go up into the main base. Defensive Baneling morph over here, and I think we lost a couple of links over. There were some links across the map. Maybe they come back. Maybe they got lost there. Yeah, Dark also just scouting. You're like, hey, oh, what are you doing? Let me have a look. And going into his Roach Warren, his same Shin behind this. So no Link Bane aggression, it seems, but it can always happen after the Roach Warren gets scouted. Just because. Oh, that's a nice scout here. It's gonna see there's no lair yet, no super cheese. There on the way, and yeah, on the other side, Dark is already transitioning, and this is gonna get scouted as well. But when I say no super cheese there, so this is a little bit weird that you stay so long on hatchery tag as well. So this could be just an offensive queen walk here from Ragnarok. Of course, you can transfuse on top of your opponent's creep, so you need to be a little bit careful there if you are Dark. And oh, that Baneling, can he do something? No, he's just gonna waddle. Yeah, Dark needs to identify this. He needs to see these roaches, and there we go. He's gonna see one roach pop now, and he's gonna know, alright, hey, you don't have a lair, you are already making so many roaches. You're gonna go across the map, right? Attack me. So, we need these a little bit earlier, it feels like, because we're already here. Ragnarok is already there, and tons of roaches now. See if we can make the defense happen, but it looks a little bit awfully late for those spine crawlers. It's gonna be 3 spine crawlers. One Baneling is gonna detonate on one of those as well, gonna damage those. Good surround here on the army so far. Queens are not looking too good. No transfuses here, and it seems like yeah, Dark might just lose the game here to Ragnarok. Ragnarok is gonna get the first spine, second one gets cancelled, the third one's gonna finish, gonna help the defense, and wow. Kind of super random, but yeah, Dark manages to hold. Okay, so this was actually not as committed as I thought. As we see, we have 53 drones behind this, and with those 9 drones killed, well, Shin has a nice worker lead now, but he does not have the tech advantage. This goes to Dark if he did start his speed. There we go, he did start the speed. Lair's already done though, and if Dark goes for counterattack now, like he's super far behind right now. He's up a tiny bit in army, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, Overlord, it's been watched. Yeah, you want to spread things out. And there we go, +1 attack also completing here for Dark. So up 1 upgrade and up the speed upgrade, and I hope he can manage to find something with this, because he kind of needs to do something to get back into this game. He has not been droning, it seems, only making roaches. So he's going for a huge attack with his roach speed here, and yeah, I want to see him move across the map right now. Okay, so these overlords, if you were aiming for a creep highway to get you bringing your queens, do a little bit of that, all right? Do it a little bit better, man. You have the APM to spare and all that stuff. Okay, here, so he's not bringing the queens. Just Roach and Bane. And let's see if Ragnarok this time can hold. He's making his own spine crawlers. He has a Ravager in the mix as well. And it seems he has enough numbers to actually just hold off this attack. +1 against no upgrades, but in a second there's gonna be 4 spine crawlers joining this fight. And those Banelings, they're actually, well, they're doing some AoE damage, but not really that much. Still, though, kind of starting to overwhelm now. The upgrades are still in favor here for Dark, and there we go. 4 spines do finish. Actually, 1 gets cancelled. He does manage to push this back, and now Dark is super far behind. He can just GG if he wants. Against roaches doesn't sound as good. Yeah. It's not good. You're very desperate if you use that technique. And if you are 20 drones behind and then start to make your first drone after you've been down 10 to 20 workers for the past 2 minutes, it's also not a good move. It's probably even worse than Banes against roaches. Even gooping the hatchery, gonna prevent this from making queens and lava actually. And yeah, let's check if the spire was scouted. So it has not been seen yet, which is fortunate here for Dark. Yeah. Oh yes, that's Ragnarok. Using the D.Va voice pack. Oh, gonna get the Overlord. And Dark keep it alive. Okay, he's not gonna try anymore. Dark's win. Okay, Dark won the game. He also scouts the spire. Okay, so here's the advantage there. You can go into Carapace and fight a Muta War. But, oh, he's gonna lose the Overlord. The other one. But yeah, you need to defend your base first here. You only have 1 spine remaining. 4th base is gonna fall, and that's a painful cancel because this was already almost done here. But with no creep, no spine down there, you can't really defend the base, no queens to have out, and yeah. This might just be too many units. We have such a big army supply here currently for Ragnarok. And this 1 Mutalisk is not gonna make the difference. Let's see if 5 can make the difference though. So they're gonna put a timer on this attack, but this timer might just be too slow. Saying Dark is cooked. I am on the boat with that one as well, in the same boat as you. GG, well played. Dark is gonna take the game. Sorry, lose the game. Chin is gonna take the game. Excuse me. Well played by Ragnarok. Taking that ZVZ. Kind of going all in, then going back, and then defending it all in, and then going on the attack again. That's how ZVZ in a nutshell. Go all in yourself, then you do enough damage, but you don't kill your opponent, then you get counter all in, but you defend well enough, and then you completely wreck them. Fire attack. Nothing in defending this. So yeah, he was kind of trying to go ahead, basically. So he was trying to create a win condition for him. If he can get, like, of course, it does not do anything against this particular push, right? But if he can get to 10 or 15 Mutalisks with them not being scouted, then the Spire is looking genius. And that's basically, he was almost there. That's literally just, give him like 1 minute more. It's gonna be a different game. It was a perfect time for Ragnarok to come in. And it's very tough to identify because he did not see the Spire. And he was not really, he was like all in himself and then got all in by his opponent. So it's a super, super hard game to read. And it was still a good call. It just ended out working perfectly fine for him. Alright, hop into game number 2 here. Infestor or Swarmers would have been a better call. I think Spire is a good call. If you can get the... I mean, he was already dead, right? He's behind 20 drones for like 2 or 3 minutes. And his counterattack did do shit, right? He didn't do any drone damage. By the way, Dark in the top left and Ragnarok in the bottom right, left. And then you're already kind of dead. So yeah, I would have loved to see anything, right? But hey, so if you go Infestor, what are you going to do? Neural? Not going to be an option. You're already down in money, so you're never going to keep winning the roach fights. So you kind of need something that is either not going to get hit by roaches or can do AoE. So your options are basically limited into lurkers or into the Spire, really. Swarm hosts, still you're kind of lacking the army to basically win the army fight, right? Even if you go into Swarm hosts. Swarm hosts is probably a really good thing if you are ahead, but if you're, it's really tough to play from behind because your opponent is just gonna, he basically needs only one army win. And if you like mistime your locust once, or they fly in a weird path or something, or you mess them up once, like you're completely dead. And Lurker, yeah, Lurker is definitely an option, but Lurker I think takes a little bit too long, right? I mean, the Spire was already too slow. Yeah, throwing down, like if he throws down a Hydralisk then during the fight, like when he commits across the map, and then goes into Lurkers, yeah, I can see that working. It's still like even low numbers of Lurkers don't have to work against the Ravager composition because you of course can bile them. It's a tough call. I think like Spire is a fine gamble and it didn't work out, unfortunate, but yeah, it was a cool idea. Lurkers could have been cool as well. Kind of basically the same idea. Try to get something your opponent that completely counters your opponent's army and get a super good trade and then come back from like that way, right? Yeah, that's the thing. You need the Hydralisk den and the Lurker den, and then also like unupgraded Lurkers are not as good as upgraded ones, of course. They're like significantly weaker without the range upgrade. It's 2 range. It's from 8 to 10 range. That's a ton, actually. And it's also like a thing. So if you go Lurkers, right, and let's say your opponent comes across the map, attacks you, oh, he sees Lurkers, and he just pulls back. And then what do? You're sitting like nice and tight, but if he goes Spire from there, you're kind of really far behind. You need to like go into so many Hydralisks and then go into more Hydra upgrades. You're already on lurker tech, so it's not that terrible, but you're always gonna be under threat. He goes like, can still go mass Mutalisk even against Hydralisks. Weirdly enough, it works. If you have more money as the meta player. But yeah, like of course going like into extra infestors and such from there would be an option, but it's so tough, right? You're immobile with the lurkers, you're limiting yourself. I kind of get the Spire decision. Like me trying to be a mobile player as well. Like very flexible on the map, I love the idea more than going into a lurker defense. Would have been the prologuing part for the game there. A little bit more than 5 meters. Like if you have 5 lurkers or 5 meters, I'd probably have the 5 lurkers, right? Dark though is someone who loves to go, if he can, gets a chance, he's gonna go 40 Mutalisks. No problem. He's gonna do that. And then he's just gonna dodge your parasitic bomb fungal composition because he's such a god. He already did that like, I think, maybe a month ago. I saw a ZVZ from him against Solar doing that. In one of these cups. Was pretty sick actually. And he won with the Mutas over the counter basically. Yeah, but of course, right? If you have like a sick fungal and then a parasitic bomb and then another fungal, those 40 meters are like 0 meters. He got caught like once and the follow-up wasn't there, so he managed to split the Mutalisks and then really he lost like I think 10 or something to the combination and the rest 30 basically stayed alive. Then he basically went a little bit back, regened, and then never went in stacked, and that was the key. He always went in like in a magic box formation from the get-go and tried to keep them that way. So whenever an Fester showed up, he was already there sniping those with like 5 mutas who were like split off a little bit, right? On the outside basically of his formation. It was really cool to see that being executed. He's a little bit of a Spire guy in ZVZ. Funnily enough, because we think of him as someone who likes to go roaches. But here again, he's going up to 6 gases. The lair is done. And there's no roach speed yet. Did he still get roach speed with this? He's getting +1 of course. But 6 gases is a little bit high. You can go very heavy Ravager if you want to, of course, but this also opens up the possibility for Spire. You can go Spire with this setup. This would be like the 6-7 Mutalisk Spire, right? You go and clean out the overloads across the map, and maybe harass a little bit on the drones, and maybe it's gonna be good against any in big fights where you both have Ravager Roach. You can just focus the Ravagers with your Mutalisks. You're basically like reducing your opponent's composition. But yeah, Ragnarok is not gonna have any of this. He's just gonna go for a big Roach attack. Yeah, +1 already finished. Both sides finally done though, and Roach speed is gonna finish as well here. But this is 20 more army supply for Ragnarok right now, and Dark did not, well, he saw it when it came across the map, but he's kind of underestimating this potential here. Only Lynx reinforcing, it seems. So many roaches have been falling here for Dark. Finally, drones starting to fall as well here. 18 drones, GG. And Ragnarok completely snowballing this game here. Well played by our Red Zerg player, taking a 2-0 from Dark. That's a good one.